Starting in the women's Prem, we've got Valkyrs B 0, Castletown A 2.
Yeah, really good performance from Valkyries B. The report I got was that they were so well organised in defence in the middle of the park that Castletown A really struggled to break them down. And for a team like Castletown A to say that about a team with the goals that they've been scoring this year is a huge statement to make. And Valkyries B, defensively, are actually doing better than almost 5 of the sides in that league, and they've stepped up and they've really shown that they can compete. Castletown A winning 2-0 with Nikki Kane and Zoe Shimon on the score sheet keeps them in contention and keeps them in second place as well.
Fantastic. And then we've got Valkyrs A 4, Ramsey A 1.
Yeah, expected Valkyries A to win. Ramsey A, give them the credit. The Ramsey keeper had an absolute stormer today, prevented Valkyries from scoring more. Christina Kameen on the score sheet for Ramsey A again. Always hear her name on the score sheet. Really, really good young player. Valkyries A, Sienna Dunn with 2. Andrea Littlejohns with 1. Ellen Cleater with 1. And Valkyries A still in 4th place, but I've got to say they're going to be in that second place shortly.
Tough match for Saracens. We've got Vikings A 12, Saracens 0, but we did get a text in saying that Saracens played really well and they didn't give up.
Yeah, Saracens never seem to give up in any way. And, I've been involved in games where we've absolutely had a thumping and you get to sort of the 50th minute and you just think, oh, what am I doing here? It's pouring with rain and, I'm cold. I just want to go home or go to the pub. But Saracens, every report I ever hear from them is that they just never stopped. They just like playing hockey. So, really well done to Saracens. Vikings A, goal scorers, Kim Carney with 3, Daisy Loader with 3, Mia Greenwood with 2, Sarah Blackman, Steph Foxton, Kirsty Cooper and Sophie Hall all with 1. And, they're flying high at the top of the table.
And then we've got Backers A 10, Harlequins A 0.
Yeah, and again, it doesn't really change the positions too much. Backers A stay in 3rd, but showing that they are competing, and that battle for that 3rd or 2nd place is going to be really, really tight. Rose Watkins, Lucy Quine, Rosie Callow, Lauren Brew, Charlotte Fisher all with 1, Louise Corkle with 2, and your mate Sophie Howland with a hat-trick this week.
Yay, gosh, she is absolutely smashing it. Well done, Sophie. Moving on to the men's Prem, we've got Vikings B 4, Saracens A 1.
I thought you were going to mention the big result first. We'll come to that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm saving it for the finale.
Okay, I'll let you off.
Okay.
Vikings B versus Saracens A. Yeah, Vikings B. I'll be honest, I didn't expect them to do as well as they are doing this season. But when you look at the side, they've got some real class in that side. Tom Burrows with 2, Andy Harding with 1, and Steve Underwood with 1. Saracens goal scorers Jonty Pagazzi. Again, doesn't really change the positions in the league, but Vikings B, they're looking good to be competing with the likes of Ramsey and Backers B for that final top 4 spot.
Backers A 7, Backers B 1.
Yeah, good interclub friendly. Well, I say friendly.
Yeah.
But the reports I've had was just that everybody just enjoyed the game today,
good.
And they all went out, and I suspect they'll all be at the clubhouse later on. Andy Whiting with a hat-trick, Tony Bentley-Roberts, Patrick Cox, Will Hassel and Johnny Callowall with 1 for Backers A, and Josh Reardon with the solitary goal for Backers B.
Then we've got Harlequins A 1, Ramsey A 9.
Yeah, Harlequins have struggled the past few weeks. They've conceded 50 goals in 4 games.
Jeez.
So it's becoming a bit of a hard slog for them this season so far. Ronan Santantolia for Harlequins, and I think that's the first time I've ever said his name right
in
on
one,
air.
Yeah. Brilliant.
I've been practicing this week. Ramsey A, Jordan Parkinson with a really well taken hat-trick, John Garrett Jackson with 2, Dan Hurd, Sam Moffat, Lewis Neal, Sam Robertson and Alex Neal all on the score sheet as well, and that pushes Ramsey A into the top 4, which is really, really important for them. They want to be breaking into that top 4.
And then, of course, the big match of the day, which I feel this is all I can afford in terms of sound effects. So Valkyries A take a shock win 2-1 over Vikings A.
What a result. And I'm sat here smiling. I should be sat here with the
grimacing.
But actually, I've been saying about Valkyries since last year. They've been building a young side, and sometimes some of the stories you hear, is that really true? And some of the texts that you get in, and that can't be right. But today they have earned a massive result, and they've got one over their old rivals Vikings A, and deservedly so as well. Robin Masson and Luis Novo-Smith, 2 of the best of mates on and off the pitch, scoring for Valkyries A. Vikings A, Stephen Ronan. And it's just Vikings again. They seem to... They're just so inconsistent during the season that these sorts of results, these are the games you need to win.
Why are they inconsistent, do you think?
I don't know. Tim Henderson wasn't available, a captain today, owing to the fact he's isolating since coming back to the Isle of Man after a trip away. So I don't know. It happened last year with Saracens, and ultimately that probably lost them the title. But yeah, they really need to sort of step up in these sorts of games and push through. But Valkyrs, their target now has to be going after backers and turning that result over from the other week.
Moving on to Women's Div 1, and we've got Castletown B 0, Vikings B 5.
Yeah, big changes at the top in the top four for this table. So Castletown B, Vikings B. Vikings B winning. I didn't expect them to win 5-0, has to be said. Now Vikings B going into the top spot. Kirsty McCarry with 2, Charlie Millwood, Morven Smith, Ava Melnick, all with 1. I know Charlie, Morven and Ava, 3 really, really good young players. And all the reports I've had are that it was a really great game again to be part of.
Someone texted in saying, what, full stop, a full stop game. So I'm assuming that means it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think, and I suspect it was as well. And yeah, Castletown now go from 2nd to 4th. Vikings B jump from 3rd to 1st.
Wow. Backers C 3, Ramsey B 1.
And a fairly tight game here. Ramsey B still rooted to the bottom of the table. But Martha Broderick and Abby Mello, again, 2 very young players for Backers C on the score sheet there. Becky Weimar on the score sheet for Ramsey B.
And finally, we've got Backers B 0, Vikings C 1.
Again, another massive result. Backers B were top of the table. And flying high by all accounts. But Valkyrs C, I said that they could be a banana skin for a few teams above them. I didn't quite expect it this weekend, but really, really well done to Valkyrs C. Ava Trutler, who is normally a goalkeeper and is performing wonders for Valkyrs B and A this season. I'm not sure which team she's been playing in, but I've heard such good reports about her. Scoring for Valkyrs C, and her sister having an absolute stormer as a goalkeeper. So really well done to Ava and Ella Trutler today.
Fantastic stuff. And then men's Division 1, Saracens B 6, Backers C 1.
Yeah, and Saracens B getting their first points of the season. Liam Farrar, Christian Davies both with 2. Stephen Jackson and Thomas Young on the score sheet for Saracens B. And the ever-young Ian Wrigley on the score sheet for Backers C.
Ever young. Castletown A 1, Valkyrs B 5.
A massive, massive result for in terms of where the title destination here. Valkyrs B just that much better than everybody else in the league. Unfortunately, Castletown had a couple of injuries and a bit of illness in the side today. But I'll say it again. I've said it a couple of weeks ago. Joe Savage is a name to watch for the future. I've watched him play a couple of times now, and he's got such good skills. It's just a bit of maturity he's lacking from time to time. Getting on the score sheet for Castletown A. Valkyrs B, you can just tell from their 2 goal scorers today. Chris Thomas with 4, Neil Jacobs. They are a side that deserve to be in the Premier League right now. They are a very, very good side. And
did you know Neil Jacobs is in the men's Island netball team as well?
I didn't, but he's one of those guys that's good at all sports.
Exactly. And then we've got Backers Colts 10, Ramsey B 0.
Yeah, Backers Colts continuing to sneak up on the teams above him. Andy Neal with 3, Dave Partington with 3. I think it's a while since Dave scored a hat-trick. Nick Aspel with 2, Dan Bion and Pete Duchars, again, making his... he's not quite retired yet. He always seems to come out for 1 or 2 games for the season for Backers Colts. So that moves Backers Colts into 3rd place.
And then to top us off, we've got your game. So Vikings C 6, Harlequins B 0.
Yeah, it's a bit 6-0 doesn't really tell the whole story. I mean, Harlequins B defensively were really quite strong, and Alfie Swales and Corey Corkill were 2 amazing young players today for Harlequins B, and they are going to go a very, very long way. And yeah, 6-0 didn't really tell the whole story. Danny Kane got 4 for Vikings C, Brandon Parker with 1, and Braden Masterton with 1. Sorry, yeah. I can say Sant'Antolia, but I can't say Masterton. But that puts Vikings C into 2nd place. And again, they seem to be one of those teams, along with Backers Colts, that seem to be creeping up on the teams above them.